Thanksgiving is right around the corner, so if you're responsible for any dishes, now is the time to start practicing. What's up, y'all? I'm Kiara, and welcome to the first episode of Kiara Cooked It. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more of my content. If you're not, hey girl, how y'all doing? Today we are making one of the most popular dishes for Thanksgiving, which is homemade macaroni and cheese. This is everything I'm using to make this homemade macaroni and cheese. I will be sure to list everything down below in the description. Now, before we get started, I'm going to let y'all know I'm not one of them regular people who be like, add a quarter teaspoon of Italian seasoning. We don't measure seasoning over here. You're going to season until the ancestors say stop. Now, let's get started. First things first, you need to go ahead on and preheat your oven to 375. So instead of salt for your pasta water, you're going to add some chicken bouillon seasoning. I think everything that you cook needs to be seasoned. Every component of the dish needs to have seasoning. This recipe is for a 16-ounce box of pasta. Any pasta, shell pasta, elbow noodle pasta, rotini, any 16-ounce pasta. So we're going to add this whole thing in here and let that boil. We're going to cook this until it's nice and tender. What they call that? Al dente? Yeah, al dente. We're going to cook this till it's al dente. And keep stirring this because you don't want your noodles to stick to the bottom of the pot. So make sure you stirring this often. Okay, the pasta about ready. I wish I was grown up enough to tell y'all how to test it. But this is how I test my pasta to see if it's done. It's ready now. What some people do, throw it against the wall. I'm still childish, so I just touch it while it's hot. The noodles are all drained. We're going to add a whole stick of salted butter in here while the noodles are hot so that it can melt. And mix it right in, break it up. And you want to get butter on every noodle. Now that the butter is all mixed in well, you still might have some chunks in there, but that's okay because this is going right in the oven. Now it's time to add the sour cream. You're going to need about a cup of sour cream. And notice all my ingredients are great value. They all work the same and sometimes even better. I'm going to measure this with my eyes. That's about a cup. That right there is about a cup of sour cream. You're going to mix that well. Just like that butter, you want this sour cream all over the noodles. Like so. So since I added salted butter, I'm not going to add additional salt to the macaroni and cheese because I think that sometimes I'm heavy with my seasoning. So the salt and the butter already is like a perfect amount. So we're just going to add some seasoned salt and some black pepper in here. I'm going to add a little bit of Lowry seasoning salt in here. That's enough. And ground black pepper. And remember, seasoning until the ancestors tell you to stop. We don't measure seasoning because it don't make no sense. Everybody's taste buds are different. Mix that up. Next, we're going to add 2 eggs. You're usually supposed to add 1 egg per 8 ounces. Since we did 16 ounces of noodles, we're going to do 2 eggs. Minus the shells, y'all. Well, I don't make a rule when I do my macaroni and cheese. I just like to add my liquid separate. For me, it's easy and quicker. This could be a quick dish if you really know what you're doing. So in a measuring cup, you're going to use 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, you need a little bit out of the new container. And then we need 1 cup of evaporated milk. If you don't have one of these electric can openers and you cook a lot, you definitely need one. It comes in handy. Look at that. Just push it to stop. You take it up. And it take the ridges off. It's 3 cups right there. And we're going to mix this on together. And we're going to add this right to our pot with our noodles. We're gonna add all that milk directly into that. Now we're ready to add the cheese. We're gonna add 1 8-ounce bag of Italian cheese, 1 8-ounce bag of sharp cheddar cheese. I'm gonna save some to put on the top. And then 1 8-ounce bag of sharp cheddar cheese, or white sharp cheddar cheese. And we're gonna save a little bit to sprinkle on top, just to make it look cute. And we're gonna add this block of Gouda cheese. I chopped that block of Gouda cheese up, and I'm gonna just drop it in there like so. And we're gonna mix this all around. This is gonna thicken up the macaroni and cheese. Oh, it's gonna melt so good together. We're gonna just pour it right into our pan. And yes, we want all that cheese enough. We paid for it. This is gonna be a good time, y'all. We're gonna take the rest of that cheese and spread it on top. I don't want no cheese melting on my glass pan. Now this last step is vital, and if you're making macaroni and cheese and don't put it on there, I don't even want none. You have to add smoked paprika to the top of your baked macaroni and cheese. You have to. It just give it another flavor. I can't even explain it, but you have to add this to it. Then we're gonna bake this in the oven on 375 for 25 minutes. So I done pulled the macaroni and cheese out of the oven and let it cool off for a little bit. Get into that, y'all. Get into it. Then you got the perfect homemade macaroni and cheese. This gonna go crazy with that ham dressing potato salad mixture. If y'all anything like me, that is my favorite bite of Thanksgiving food. But tonight we gonna have ours with some baby back ribs, candy yams, and some fresh green beans. Everybody has eaten dinner. We shut the kitchen down, and now I'm going to bed. That's a wrap for the first episode of Kiara Cooked It. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more of my videos. Love y'all. Bye, y'all.